we saw that terrible blaze with all those people who have died, and in Kensington the fire with the and the people were told that stay in their rooms, that the fire brigade could, you know, go up the stairs, and if people stayed in their rooms, and the fire doors would protect them and such like. They'd isolate into one room. But that is such a bad advice, because in Towering Inferno, when you watch what happened with the people always trying to get out of a building, and whenever you're watching a program on the TV, they've always got out when there's a fire. We've always been drilled to get out of a building. You'd always practice going out and then being counted, and of course they got this idea now that you're safe in your flat, and that's actually bad advice. Everybody, when they know there's a fire, there should be an alarm to every person, and the alarm is raised and everybody should get out. They shouldn't stay in. And look at that aeroplane there. Can you zoom in on that, Eli? See it? Up there. I know how the trees got in the way now. But with this alarm being raised, the issue being the alarm, yes, sound the alarm. In the Bible it says, sound the trumpet on the walls, and the city then could be saved. Of course, if the Bible says that if God doesn't build a house, they labour in vain that builds it. And if the alarm is sounded and God doesn't save the city, they sound the alarm, it says in the Bible, in vain. And but the idea of health and safety and keeping people in their houses is ridiculous. To keep them in their flats, they should get out with the slightest noise of fire. And people have been putting their confidence and reliance in the advice they've been given, and it's not sound advice. You should always get out when there's fire in a big tower, or if it's even a small house, you should get out, and you should make your way to the exits and get out. The Bible says that you know, safety. They shall say peace and safety in the last days. Everything's safe, everything's peaceful. That's all the politicians are labouring for. I mean, the Bible says to follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall even see the Lord. So yes, we have to follow peace with all men. But when they have insurance for things, that offers some peace of mind, some safety. When you have people who are so-called experts and they tell you to you know, follow our laws and our rules if you want to stay in the buildings, you know, or even get prosecuted or fined or go to jail, makes no difference. If you know that something like a fire is taking place, you should still leave your room and get out of the building. The Bible says about the again, the end of the world, people will have confidence and reliance, and Jesus will come like a thief in the night. And God says, when all your material things are built up, don't put your confidence in them, don't put your trust in them, don't set your affection and desires on. He said, otherwise you'll forget God. And people now have got rich and they've forgotten God. All the material things are there. God said they had built themselves houses, but they hadn't built a temple for him to dwell in himself. And he said they put their money into pockets with holes. So God says, consider your ways. When you cover yourself with a cloth, he said, you're not warm. And he said, with your material possessions, the windows of heaven hadn't poured out the blessings on them because people had forgotten to give God his share of the money, 10%, and they built up all this fortune for themselves. But in the New Testament, the rich people gave from their millions, and it meant nothing much to them. But the widow who gave her mite, she gave everything that she had. It was the smallest currency available. I suppose we'd call it 1 pence now. And when we look at the peace and the safety which is given, which is at the end of the world, they will all talk about peace and safety, but Jesus is going to come in an hour and a day when they're not expecting him. And he said about his servants would see that Jesus had delayed his return back to the earth, and then they in turn would turn and beat God's servants, so that there would be a religious persecution of Christians, and God is going to delay the return back to the earth. All the signs will be here, the signs of the end of the world, but because God delays his return to the earth, he said that this servant began to eat and drink with the drunken, socializing with them all, and agreeing with them, and persecuting the Christians. And that persecution is going on around the world in all the different countries now, and the liberal and the secular are bringing laws out against the Christians. So we need to realize this peace and safety thing which the Bible talks about. It will be on the earth when Jesus comes back. Everybody will be saying peace, peace, but then sudden destruction comes, and we had that in the First World War, peace, peace, and then destruction came, and then they said peace, peace for the Second World War, and in the end 55 million were dead in the Second World War, and there was about 15-20 million dead in the First World War. So this peace, peace thing, always they've been speaking it. Then you had the wars, the civil war in China, 7 million dead. Civil war in Russia, 7 million dead. You had another China-Japan war, with Japan attacked China, 22 million dead. So 129 million have died from wars, and that's what Jesus said. They shall say peace, peace, and then told the Apostle Paul to say, when he was in Arabia for 3 years, Jesus taught the Apostle Paul. Paul tells us what Jesus taught him when it says peace, peace will be in the last days. But the end of the world, the people will be relying on all their material possessions, and they will have like televisions as big as a wall, comforts, and they'll have, you know, all their reliable transports and machines and all kinds of food and drink. And it says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it also be at Jesus' return. When it says, in the days of Noah, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and took them all away. And they never believed there would be a flood. They'd never seen rain. But the rain came, and the flood came, and they all perished. This is what happens. In the last days, the people will be eating and drinking, and they will be carrying on with their lives, and all of a sudden, destruction will come, and the end of the world will come. And Jesus said that the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the whole earth and its works shall be burned up, and there shall be a new heaven and a new earth. God's going to build a brand new earth, a new paradise, and there will be new beaches and new trees and all the paradise things you've got. And he said there will be righteousness there, and we've got to remember that the things the Bible talks about for the end of the world, be ready, watch, Jesus said, pray that you don't perish, and you don't get caught out when he comes back. And we all got to watch for our souls, watch the signs. Jesus said, seeing the waves are going to roar now, lots of big storms, see the waves roaring, what roars on the sea will roar on the land. And he said there will be signs in the sun, the moon and the stars. We've got a sign coming now, was it 2021 or 2022, with a new star which is going to form up in the sky. Well, it's actually the burning up of the red supernova, two stars joining, becoming one. But it will glow like a new star in the sky. It will be as brighter than Venus. So we remember these signs. And I personally think that we're living in the last sort of 50 years of the earth, and we need to keep a very close watch that Jesus will come as a thief in the night. So all who accept Jesus as their God and Saviour shall be saved. All who repent and believe the gospel will be saved. Trust Jesus, and all those who don't believe will perish eternal. And that's the two ways before you die. One upward to the sky, or one downward to the lake. That's it.